What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Quinway Basketball Analysis coming to you with that Los Angeles Clippers. This is a team that got a lot of hype around it. This is a team that either you're going to say going to make the playoffs or a team that's going to borderline make it. Doc Rivers got called out by Glenn Davis, a former player, saying that he's overrated and all that stuff. Doc Rivers lost Chris Paul, but got a good haul back for a superstar player, top 5, top 10 player in Chris Paul. They still was able to retain a top 12 player, top 15 player in Blake Griffin. He declined a little bit because he always injured. And DeAndre Jordan, a person that's always healthy, he's reporting to work every single day, grabbing as many rebounds, getting as many alley-oops, and playing his position. I still think he can still be a better defender than he is, but to me, he's a solid defender, not a great defender, even though he's been getting a lot of accolades for it and a lot of praise for it. I'm not really a big DeAndre Jordan fan, and I really don't believe he should have been an all-star, but he was the only player healthy on the team that was in the playoffs. But I still don't think he's an all-star caliber player. But that's just my analysis on that. But this team is real stacked. They're going to have a lot of problems keeping this team together in the future once they have to pay certain players if they play out of their contracts. They taking a lot of gambles on people. They're trying to build on the fly. They added a lot of pieces, like I said, and some of them are still young. Some of them entering their prime, and some of them they just trying out. And they're gonna have to figure out what direction they're gonna go with this team. As constructed right now, I think they are a playoff team. I had my West prediction. I had them at number 8. They can actually surprise people because they do have a lot more talent than what you think. It's just they're going to have to cut some of these players or trade some of these players. But they have a lot of assets. They might not have the big picks because they are winning. They're a 50-win team all the time. But they do have assets they can throw around and get certain players to come to Los Angeles if they choose to go after those players. But I love this Clipper team, and I like Doc Rivers as a coach. He's a coach that likes to do the X and O's, getting players in position. He does ride his superstar players, so you will see a lot of Blake Griffin pick and roll. Blake Griffin with the balls in his hand in the high post and in the mid post, and you might even see him posting up, kicking out the shooters like Patrick Beverly, Danilo Gallinari, and people like that. Sam Dekker, I can include him in there because he's solid. You even got Wesley Johnson that can knock down a couple every blue moon, and he got the length and the size. So this team is going to add a lot of versatility. You can see a lot of Blake at 5 at sometimes. You can see DeAndre Jordan just gobbling up every rebound. You have Austin Rivers still. You have Lou Williams that can heat it up real quick. You still have length and athleticism. You have Montrezl Harrell who can play the 4, and when Blake at the 5, you can play Blake at the 5 with Danilo too, because he has the size and the length and the athleticism to a certain extent to play that position depending on what lineup is out there. You also got Patrick Beverly, a guy that doesn't need the ball to be effective, but he does need to improve on being aggressive. He has done that the last couple seasons, looking for his shot, playing confident within his shot. And you also see that he wants the chance to prove that he's still a starter coming off that injury, and he showed it in the playoffs. Patrick Beverly was a solid player, and I like this move because they have the shooting, they have the length, they have the size, they have the guards to do a lot of damage. This team can go deep, and that was something that we always criticized the Clippers for. Besides their first couple years under Vinny Del Negro, it was the depth, and now they actually have the depth to make a good run for the whole regular season and give Blake and DeAndre some rest instead of playing them all those minutes and running them to the ground and getting up their injuries. They have players that can play those positions and players that can do similar things, but they're not as good as Blake and DeAndre, but those are the 2 players that's your best players. So I like this Clipper team, and I like what they can do. They're not too old, they're not too young, and they have a lot of versatility. This team, I predict, can win from 40 45 to 48 to 50 games, probably sneak into 50. Obviously, the West got harder, and it's going to be harder to win 50 games in the West this season, but I can still see them winning 45 to 47 games, kind of like the Thunder. I actually like this team better than the Thunder because they got more offense. They don't have the defenders like Steven Adams and Andre Robertson and Paul George, but they do have the depth. They're deeper than OKC to me. They're deeper than the Minnesota Timberwolves to me. And like I said, you can play Austin Rivers at the 2. You can play Lou at the 2. You can play Lou at the 1 and Austin Rivers at the 1 when Patrick Beverly is out. And you can even go real super small even more. And you can throw out Wesley Johnson and DeAndre Liggins and play them at the 3 and the 4. And you probably can get away with that. Allen Anderson is another solid knockdown shooter. This team is going to be a surprise team. Either you're going to see this team overexceed, you're going to see this team perform to expectations, or you're going to have this team underperforming. This is a team, like I had to do this video quick, that we really don't know what to expect because of how deep and how much talent they have on this team. Obviously, we got to figure out how they're going to gel together. We got to figure out how they're going to play together, and we're going to figure out if they can really use all this talent at once, because there's only so many minutes. And remember, when he picked up Josh Smith, Jeff Green, and all these players, Lance Stevenson, all those players was going by the trade deadline. So they had some depth, but they traded it all away and let them all go. Now they have a little bit too much depth, and they got to figure out who's going to get the minutes and what they're going to do with this roster. So the Clippers, I predict that they will win 45 to 48 games. And I think that they can make the playoffs. I think they can make the 7th or the 8th seed. And I had them making the playoffs anyway. I think they're better than Memphis. They're in between Minnesota and a team like Denver. I think all them teams going to fight for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Memphis will be in that argument too, not to lie. You have Dallas that's going to make a couple moves probably, or they're going to show that they wanted an unstoppable offense because of the great Rick Carlisle always figuring out how to use his player to the best advantage. So we'll see what happens. I think the Clippers will make it over the Mavericks. That's just my opinion. And I think a lot of people might sleep on this team, but don't sleep. Doc Rivers got a lot of criticism these last couple of years, and he lost his best player, Chris Paul. And like I said, he's been running Blake Griffin into the ground. That's another thing. Can Blake Griffin stay healthy? Is he going to play enough games? We know he can facilitate. We know he can dominate. We know he's versatile. We know he can score in a variety of ways. He averaged 20 and 10 as a rookie, and he was an all-star as a rookie. He missed the all-star game last year. So we got to see what's going to happen. We going to see how much Blake Griffin improved. Can he lead? Can he make this team win? Because when he was with Eric Gordon, Chris Kaman, they wasn't winning. They had the talent, but they wasn't winning any games. Now that he has played with Chris Paul, now he has a coach like Doc Rivers, can Blake Griffin take that next level as a leader? Can Blake Griffin take that next challenge to lead this team to the playoffs with just DeAndre? Because we don't know if they're going to make a trade in the future. This is just going off based on the roster right now. So I like the roster. I like the coach. I like the players. And we'll see how they all gel and fit together. This team can do a lot of damage. It's going to be hard to stop this team defensively, but that's how it always been when Doc Rivers been a coach. Even Vinny Del Negro was able to win 50 games. So that just shows you how talented this roster is even back then. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think about the Los Angeles Clippers. Do you like them? Is they overrated? Is they underrated? Do you think they're going to make the playoffs? Do you think they're not going to make it? Give me specific reasons why you think they're not going to make it. Give me specific reasons why you think they're going to make it. And let me know if you think they're better than Minnesota, Denver. They're going to be in those. Memphis, Dallas. They're in that group of the borderline teams that's going to be fighting for 6th, 7th, and 8th. And I think they'll get it. Let me know what you guys think. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. The link will be in the comment section in the description. Also, check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. The link will be in the description in the comment section below. Click the link, send you to the Facebook page. Like the Facebook page to show support. I'm out of here.